my $10 go-kart. I literally bought the frame for $10 and then threw parts that I had laying around on this cart to make it go. Now, it performs as good as it looks, and so we're going to be fixing both of those in today's video. We're just going to start tearing this go-kart apart, strip it to the bare frame because it's going to get painted. And we're going to do some modifications back here. And the engine, seat, and wheels are off of the go-kart. This engine doesn't turn very many RPMs. I would guess about 4 grand RPM. It's pretty much a stock motor, muffler delete, and governor bypass is all. So with this stock motor, we were going 45 miles per hour. That is crazy. That was with this centrifugal clutch. Now I have a torque converter, so we'll get way more low-end torque out of this because I like driving stuff off-road, not just on-road. And it's not just a regular torque converter. We have, if I can get it out of the box, a 7-inch driven pulley. So as you can see, the camera doesn't show it that much, but this pulley is an inch smaller than this pulley, so this pulley will have way more torque. There you can see how much bigger that one is than this 6-inch. So we'll be using that 7-inch, and then instead of the regular 10-tooth sprocket, it's going to be a 9-tooth. So we're going to be getting all the torque we can out of this setup while still keeping the same axle sprocket. Well, since this torque converter, as you guys can tell, the sprocket is back here. Whereas on the centrifugal clutch, the sprocket was out here, and I actually had that clutch away from the engine, so the sprocket was quite a ways out. So I got to move the whole engine plate over to accumulate for this torque converter. And so that's what I'm doing here. I even did the whole delete there. And it's actually bolted to a engine plate right now. So that'll be the new engine plate. That'll be welded on there at a little bit of a tilted forward angle. Just because I see a lot of racing go-karts do that, and a lot of racing mini bikes tilt their things forward. So front of the plate's going to be welded here, and I'm going to make a new bracket in the back. So another day of working on this. I got the whole engine plate welded up. That took a while figuring out how I was going to do that, and getting the chain aligned, because I really don't want to mess with the chain that always comes off. So that's all ready to go. I welded this back up because that broke. Reinstalled this bar further over, so now they're both leaning in the same direction. That's fine, right? Looks good. And then we messed with the steering a little bit, trying to make it steer a little sharper. So what we did is move the tie rods from that hole in. We drilled another hole, so maybe that'll give us a little bit sharper steering. Now we're ready to paint the frame. So I chose out cranberry paint. Hopefully it turns out that color and not that color, which is what Isaac spray painted from this can, but it'll be fine, right? So cranberry, because I kind of wanted to match what this go-kart came as. Then Isaac's painting the pedals and steering wheel black. Well, fellas, the go-kart is coming right along. I really like the color. Got the white rims. The steering is all done, and Isaac's working on the throttle. The brake is all hooked up. Then we just need the engine and seat and fuel tank. Well, tomorrow's another day, but today we've got this go-kart looking pretty premium. I love the color, the white rims. We're getting the throttle cable installed and the engine installed. It looks so good. Of course, that yellow seat is still gonna ruin the looks, but I don't have another seat. So we're just gonna run that yellow seat again. I think it's gonna kill the looks, but it is getting a black tank instead of that orange one. We just painted it black. So that'll look a lot better. And then, yeah, that torque converter is pretty much the only thing I've actually spent a lot of money on in this video. Everything I'm using, like the brake, the throttle cable, torque converter, everything will be linked in the description below. But this thing should be a ripper sooner rather than later. Not too far away. So the go-kart's all thrown together, and just looking at it, that belt is way too tight for that 7-inch driven pulley. Here's the pulley. And here is a 725 belt. So that's supposed to be a little bit longer than the 5959 or the 699 belt. But it still wasn't long enough, so I'm just gonna put, for now anyway, until I get a longer belt from Go Power Sports, I'm gonna put a regular pulley on there with a 5959 belt. So as you guys can see, we got it running. Got a kill switch and everything on her. She's running good. I love the torque converter, even with the 6-inch driven pulley. It has lots of torque yet. And it even looks like Isaac's enjoying it. What do you think?
It's insane.
Yeah? So the go-kart with the torque converter runs so good. It has so much torque and a pretty good top speed that I like. We drove around for the whole weekend. And then we had some issues with fuel leaking. I tried to redo the fitting in the carburetor, but it still leaks. It's not good, so we're gonna have to put a new carburetor on there. And so sneak peek for another video is that. We'll put that on eventually, and you guys will get to see it if you stick around. And then we'll save the exhaust. I know I said I would do that in this video. But we'll save that for another day too. Go on there like that. So, thanks for watching, and see you next time.